This is not just any lasagna, and let me tell you why. This is Marks Off Madison in New York, and this is Chef Mark. And he opened this awesome, like, high-end diner vibe. And he's famous for the Lasagna della Nonna. So it's a beautiful veal, beef, pork, bolognese, bechamel, and parmesan. And I've been seeing this lasagna all over social media. One person to thank is Action Bronson, and this is the clip where I knew we had to make it.
Damn, let's walk out with it together.
You want to go to the
like
bar?
We're going down, yeah, let's go to the bar. Yeah. That looks nice.
This is the lasagna.
Makes me feel so at home right now. Oh, cool. I'm so comfortable. I'm so comfortable with you. I feel like we've known each other forever. The chef is my kind of guy.
So I don't know about you, but that lasagna spoke to me. So we're gonna replicate that exact dish, and we're gonna go all homemade. So we're gonna do a homemade pasta and make these beautiful lasagna sheets so that we get that nice little chew. Next, we're gonna walk through how to do an awesome Bolognese sauce that includes veal, pork, and beef. Then we're gonna do a beautiful creamy bechamel. It's got some ricotta and some fun cheeses in there, and it's gonna be delicious. And lastly, I'm gonna show you how to put it all together until we get to something like this. So we're gonna start off with the homemade pasta, and we're using 00 flour, which is a must, 500 grams of it. So I'd like to just get a bowl, make an indent, and then use your hand. What we're building right here is the well. So you really wanna make sure the sides are nice and tall. That's gonna hold the eggs. So usual rule of thumb, I'd like to use Evan Funky's recipe, 500 grams of flour and 6 eggs. Basically just whisk it up, and then we want it to be like a pancake batter. So now once that happens, we'll work in more flour. I'm flicking it in with the bench scraper and cutting it in. And then you'll see it's gonna start to form a dough. So really at this point, kind of just fold it on in like so. And there we go, the dough is starting to form. You can see it's still a little sticky. So now we're gonna start kneading it back and forth. We're building up the gluten structure here. If it's a little too sticky, you could add a little more flour until it starts to smooth out. And then something like that is looking beautiful. Cut out some plastic wrap just so it's an even square. And this is the important part, you really want to just fold it all in so that there's no air getting in there. Kind of smooth it out. And then there we go, we have a beautiful dough that we're gonna use. Now cut the dough into 4 parts, sprinkle with some 00 flour on each side. I like to flatten out with a rolling pin or your palm. Put it in on level 1. So you're just gonna roll that through and then fold it into itself like so. A little more flour and then back to level 1. This way we're gonna get some really nice structure to the lasagna sheets. And then basically you're just gonna repeat this process. If it's feeling a little sticky, flour each side and then just go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like it on a 5 or 6 level. Cut into sheets like so. And I got some boiling water over here. Beautiful thing with fresh pasta, it's literally just a minute or 2. So let those boil, and then I like to dunk it in some ice cold water, and there we go. There's our lasagna sheets. It's Bolognese time, and this sauce is beautiful. Works perfect in lasagna, but you can make it, for pastas, plenty of other stuff. So we're using crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste. I like a little calabrian pepper in there for a little heat. So we're gonna start off with cutting half an onion. This is a sweet onion right here. So you can see I cut into it and then on the sides, and then when you dice, you get a beautiful dice like so. Carrot, peel that off and then cut into thirds, strips, and then a nice dice like so. Trick with this, we want equal size pieces for all the vegetables, and it's going to give a really nice mouthfeel. It's going to cook evenly as well. So same with the celery, cut into a nice dice. Get your garlic, and then we're going to mince the garlic up. Got our ingredients prepped. Let's head over to where all the magic happens, the stove area. Start off with some olive oil, add in the celery. Give that a little toss, the carrot, nice little toss, and the onion. Holy Trinity right here. So hit it with a little salt, a little pepper, and then just give that a toss. We just want this to soften. So throw in like 2 tablespoons of butter, let that cook off for a few minutes. Now we're gonna add in our meats. We got the beef, we got the veal, we got the pork, 1 pound of each. Usual rule of thumb is like 1 teaspoon of salt per pound of meat. So I'm adding 3 teaspoons of salt and then chop that up. Right here we got our whole milk. We're gonna throw that in. What this is gonna do, it's actually gonna soften the meat, so it's gonna allow us to chop it up easier, but it's also gonna give a really nice rich flavor. And this you're gonna go for like 20-30 minutes. You want a lot of that milk to kind of reduce off and then add in some of the white wine. Same thing, about 15 to like 30 minutes there. Let that reduce off. And then add in that tomato paste, the Calabrian chilies. We're going to hit it with some salt and pepper. So at the end, we're going to add our crushed tomatoes. And we're going to let this reduce for like a good hour. Right there with the tomato sauce as well. And I like to do final seasoning at the end. So let all these flavors come together and then check it, taste it. If it needs more salt, throw in more salt. And then the sauce should be perfect. Now it's the bechamel time. And to me, this is what makes the lasagna. It just gives it a very nice creamy texture and very luxurious tasting. So we're gonna melt down 1/4 cup of butter, pan's about medium heat. And then we're gonna add in 1/4 cup of flour slowly. And then work this in with a whisk. We don't want any lumps or clumps. And you also don't wanna go too dark with this. Just keep it a nice blonde color. So like you could see here, work in all those clumps. So we got a nice smooth roux. Now I'm gonna slowly add in 4 cups of whole milk. So go pretty slow here. And all we're doing is we're gonna be forming the sauce. So you could see, just whisk, slowly add in, and that sauce is coming together. And same thing, we're about a medium heat right here. There we go, it's coming together. Keep going, beautiful. It's gonna seem thin, but just keep this going for a simmer for about 10 minutes. Then you could see here, it's already starting to thicken. So this is technically a bechamel. This is done, you could use it as you please. I like to add in some ricotta and some other cheeses, and to me, especially with the lasagna, the flavor is going to go perfectly. So this is 1/2 cup of a full fat ricotta. Add that in. I'm about a medium low heat. I lowered the heat a little bit. Now we're going to up the flavor and add in some Asiago cheese. Slowly whisk that in, medium low heat, and there's some Parmigiano Reggiano that we're going to whisk in as well. And this, the texture is incredible, and the flavor. Hit it with a little salt, and then we're gonna throw in some white pepper. Really balances the flavor nicely. Whisk that up, and then there you go, guys. This is the bechamel sauce. All the prep work is done. Now it's time to put this together. So get a buttered casserole dish, lay out the lasagna sheets, a nice layer of the bolognese. I like to spread it out, and then do a nice layer of the bechamel. I like to work it in with a bench scraper. That way when you're eating, you're gonna get a really nice mouthfeel, and then add in some Parmesan Reggiano and mozzarella cheese. So I worked like 5 layers. So this is the top layer, just to show you one more time. Work in that bechamel bolognese, another layer of the Parmesan Reggiano mozzarella. Add a top layer. You can see how I'm folding it in. Do a layer of parchment paper and tin foil. We're gonna bake this so the cheese melts and it gets hot in the center. Let it cool, cut it into pieces. Look at those layers. This is what we want to see. This is what makes it so special, is the pan sauce. So grab an oven-safe pan, add in some tomato sauce to the bottom, add a big piece of lasagna on top, and top it with some heavy cream. This is how they do it in the restaurant. Because essentially what you're doing is you're heating up the piece so that you can ensure it's nice and hot and bubbly, and then it's gonna form this beautiful sauce. So take the lasagna piece out, mix up the sauce in the pan, and top it. And you can see it's kind of like a pink vodka sauce vibe. It's so delicious. This is a little pistachio pesto. And guys, come on, look at this. I'm telling you, this lasagna is so comforting. I know it's a lot of work, but it is so worth it. And you don't have to do the homemade lasagna sheets. Just, you could use store-bought, but it's so delicious.